Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to March. Can't believe it's March already. This year is going by way too fast. But it's been a good year so far. Well, hobby wise, personal wise, obviously there's some conflict going on in the world right now, and I'll just say this: we pray for all of those that are on the front lines and fighting for their freedom in their country. Um, and we'll leave it at that and just hope for the best of everybody. But give it a few minutes. I know that I always say this, and I really am trying to work some things out. I know that a Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock is not the most ideal time for anybody to go live to just chat and do things. But right now it's what's working in my schedule. So I am attempting to create a later show, a later time for me to go live. Just life's hectic right now, so sometimes that gets in the way. Morning, Mr. Batos. Hope you're well today. How are things in your world? Just check out a few things here before I get in here. Okay. Go ahead and share that link out to folks. Again, like I said, I know Tuesday mornings, any morning really is tough. 9 o'clock usually time people are getting into work. Whether you're in the office, you're at home, you're on the road. Hopefully, you're not on the road watching this, listening maybe, but not watching. So just stay safe. Um, so here we are. Like I said, March 1st. It's been a few weeks, I know, since I've done this. Some big things have happened in my life personally. So as many of you know, I did recently celebrate a birthday, and it was a milestone birthday. I turned 40, and holy Moses, can't believe that happened. So the last couple of weeks have just been unable to do something like this just because of that schedule that the wife and the family had planned for me. So it's kind of at their mercy. And, as I've mentioned before, my family most definitely comes before anything hobby related or anything related. So I do want to thank everybody that reached out, wished me a happy birthday. It is very meaningful to hear from so many people. It's a day that I just view as any other day, but it is nice to hear from folks. So that was great. So I know, like I said, it's been a few weeks since going live and kind of doing some RAK reviews, but I felt like, okay, we're beginning a new month. We just ended February, with the RAK ambassadors and RAK of the day. We've got things that are going on a monthly basis, and I thought that would be just a good time to go in and kind of review everything and give you a preview of what's to come. So a couple of RAKs that really stood out to me this month. One, if you didn't see it, I highly suggest you go find Che's YouTube channel. He's at EN Sports Cards on Twitter, and I believe that's his YouTube channel as well. So Garrett at IT Guy, he reached out to me, gosh, a few weeks ago, and was like, "Hey, my local card shop has a Rod Carew autographed jersey. I think we can get it for Che." And I'm like, "There's no thinking about it. We can get it for Che." And we got to be sneaky about it because we know that he's going to hop on any RAK that somebody like you or I would. So we got enough people. Kevin, good morning, man. Welcome. Um, we got enough people together and got Che the Rod Carew jersey. What we weren't aware of, well, some of us were. What we weren't aware of is, as this was going on, Che was actually sick. Okay, and I'm using the term sick very loosely here. And he was off Twitter for a while, off his fundraiser for a while, and so it was like a perfect time for this to happen for him. And it's just amazing how the world works in that way. And so anyway, Garrett got it all together, put everything in motion, and then got it set out. And guess what happened? The U.S. Postal Service happened. And it was so frustrating because it should have been delivered, I think, on a Saturday. There was a potential for a Sunday delivery, and that didn't happen. And then President's Day. So it definitely wasn't happening on President's Day. And then finally on Tuesday, the day after President's Day, the package arrived. And I think people have gotten very smart when these RAKs are happening, like especially these big ones, right? With the explicit instructions of you have to go live to open this, whether it's live on a YouTube channel or live on Twitter or just a video. Just you got to go. We want to see your reaction. And so Che abided by this, went on, and he had a couple of RAKs that day. I think he got an Eric Davis autograph card and an Evan White card. But then he opened up Garrett's, the Rod Carew, and it was the most amazing reaction ever. It was silence. And Che was so choked up, and because it was such a meaningful gift to him. And like, that's why we do these things. Good morning, Chris. Like, it was just the best reaction that you could ask for. And I know that he was super excited about it. And I can't wait to see it posted on his wall in the background next time I see him on video to see that Rod Carew jersey. So the other RAK that stands out is actually from Che. So each month, the RAK ambassadors, one RAK ambassador is taking a month where they put together one of these large RAKs that we've all been a part of or we've all organized. And really all it is just organizing. It's just kind of a way to thank the hobby for the support that month that they gave to that person's fundraiser as well. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So Che messaged me like in January. He's like, I've already got it taken care of. I know who I'm going after. I know what I'm doing. It's somebody that we all dearly care about, dearly love, but has everything you could imagine. And like, he didn't tell me who this person was. And I'm trying to rack my brain, like, who are you talking about? And I mean, he kept it close to the vest until it was time. Yeah, Chris, you got it. It was Jimmy, man. Jimmy at Kentucky Cards. And it was so awesome, to see Che putting this all together. And what it ended up being is being one of the shadow boxes that Carolina Card Exchange puts together for the Braves. And Che's only, I don't know, he's close to Jimmy. I don't know the time frame, if it's an hour or so, but he drove down there and hand delivered it, and he was just super thrilled to do it. And you see that big smile on Jimmy's face, and it's genuine. You know that, he absolutely just loved it. And it was such a great way to end the month. It wasn't really to end the month, but it was such a great way to, just kind of bring everything together, because Jimmy does so much for not only the hobby as a whole, but his local community. I mean, putting together the trade nights for kids and giving stuff away. I know that him and Mr. K Dub up there in Washington State have developed a really good family relationship. It's just so cool, but it actually is, it actually kind of, benefited the hobby even more as a whole, because Jimmy told Che, hey, give Eric my number. I want to connect with him and do some things with RAK of the Day and other stuff. So Jimmy and I have connected. We've kind of been talking about some things at high level right now, and hopefully we can bring him on to do some things here too. But it's just so awesome to see those types of things happen in the hobby. And, I was really super pleased with it all. And then also February, Che had his fundraiser for the American Heart Association, which I messaged him this morning, and I was just like, man, it was so great to see the success you had. He raised over $3,500 in the month of February, which is just absolutely phenomenal, because that $3,500 is going to go directly to the American Heart Association, which is going to help save lives and be able to, really do some great things for heart health. But he would, I mean, listen, fundraising's tough. I do it for a living. It's my job. But he never like wavered, even when he was sick during that 10-day period, he was still messaging me on the side, and probably others like Chris and other folks, where he was just like, hey, I really just, I'm trying my best here. Anything you can do to help is wonderful. And, I think we all stepped up, when needed. But $3,500 is nothing to sneeze at. Like, that is fantastic in a 1 month period. But what I'm more, I think, excited about is, and I told him that, and I've told him this numerous times, and Chris is the same way, the ability to connect with people, and not just people like this group here that we all know and love. We're all part of these group chats, but connecting outside of that group chat, he connected with, and hopefully you all saw it, but Rod Carew, like we just talked about, Che got the Carew jersey. Che's been a Carew fan since he was knee high to a grasshopper, right? To be able to connect with somebody like that through social media shows a couple of things. One, you're passionate about what you're doing. And two, you're not afraid to step outside your comfort level and make those types of asks. And Chade asked nothing more from Mr. Carew other than retweets. Actually, retweet one. And he did it multiple times on multiple days, including yesterday, the last day. And it was just, I mean, it's so great to see. And like, it shows that these athletes really want to connect to their people. Like, that's who is supporting them, so they want to show that support in that way. And I think it's just phenomenal. So kudos to Che for the American Heart Association. It's March 1st. We have a new month of fundraising. It's being run by Kevin Franken, who is at Cards Kev on Twitter. And him and Goldline Cards have their own YouTube show now called Bent Corners. I think is it Thursday nights, Chris? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's Thursday evenings. So definitely check their show out. But what Kevin's raising money for is a local nonprofit in New Jersey called the St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center. I hope I got that whole name right. But basically what it is they take in animals that need help, that need a home, that are suffering, from malnutrition, or suffering just because we've seen it on the news. People abandon their pets, and so they need a place to go. And so Kevin's very passionate about it. He told me that I think him and his wife have been supporting them for years. They volunteer with them. I think they've gotten their dogs from there as well. It's just a super local community nonprofit, and I think that we can really do some good for them. The local nonprofits like that, they're relatively small, but this one, they take in and help over 7,000 animals on a yearly basis. Do the math. I can't do the math. I mean, what is that, like 20 animals a day, something like that? So that's a lot of help. And Kevin's goal this month is $2,000. And he's told me he's got some ideas. I got an idea I'm trying to formulate for him as well. But it's really, really cool to see what he's going to do. I know he's excited about it, as am I. I did ask the crew yesterday, the RAK ambassadors yesterday, how they were feeling. Had a lot of good feedback. We're still looking kind of for that engagement piece, between everybody. I think I'm just going to do a quick preview of today's RAK of the day. I'm not going to tell you what the RAK is. All I can say is it's a pretty big RAK, and if it's done right by the person that receives it, could possibly be a game changer in their life. Not a life changer, but an immediate change in their life. It's actually being given by our newest RAK ambassador, Greg Bonfie. who he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I want to give this as my RAK." And I'm like, "Okay, are you sure?" Because wow, that's super generous of you, but it doesn't surprise me knowing who he is. So excited to see today. Zach, good morning, welcome. Um, yeah, so I mean, that's what I got as far as like the review goes and the preview. Um, it's been a great month. I'm excited. What did I miss anything? Did you guys see any RAKs that came through or anything that you want to chat about? Obviously, there's a lot going on right now. We're kind of like in this lull of sports. Like, I'm not a big NBA guy. I mean, the Cavs are doing great this year, but even though they're doing really well, I don't follow them like I used to. Just kind of the game's gotten away from me. College basketball, holy Moses, this past weekend, 7 top 10 teams losing. I mean, that's crazy. So we're leading up to March Madness right now, which is cool. But man, Greg, just stopping by to say hi while at work real quick. Greg, welcome, man. We just mentioned your name. Hope you heard it. Hope I kind of gave a small preview of what your RAK is today. Um, but didn't give it away altogether. So, Kevin, hockey. Okay, so Kevin, I grew up in Northeast Ohio, big Cleveland fan. The Columbus Blue Jackets did not come into existence until I was in high school, and I had no reason to hop on the hockey bandwagon. We had the Cleveland Lumberjacks minor league team, didn't care for them either. But since I've moved to Pittsburgh, I have become a Penguins fan. I will be support. I have been supporting them. I've been to a couple of Penguins games. And this might offend you, Kevin. I'm sorry, might offend other hockey fans. Um, I work, one of my colleagues at work, she's a big hockey fan, and we went to a game together as a work outing. And I said, man, this really reminds me of a baseball game because the action took place when there was a goal. But in between, yeah, it's fast moving and whatnot. But in between, there was really nothing going on other than a bunch of guys skating up and down. And maybe it was because we were sitting down low, like 5 rows from the ice. To me, it seemed very social. A lot of people just talking, not really paying attention. So I don't know. It is what it is, but I did have a good time and whatnot. And my wife and I, we want to go to another game, just the two of us, but we'll see. Um, Jay, welcome, Jay. Keep it on, keep it on, keep it on. I'm not taking it off. That's for sure. Zach, that's awesome, man. Can't wait to see what you got going on. Greg, no, man, thanks for your support. Everything that you do is appreciated. I'm just kind of pushing people. Tony, good morning. Welcome, man. Hope all's well. Yeah, never too. I know. What's funny? I remember when I moved to Pittsburgh. So my wife and I moved. We were planning on moving, but it was a forced move, and that's another story for another day. And we ended up living with her parents for 6 months. And I remember watching a hockey game on TV with her dad. I never knew they had replays, and I saw the game stop, and the referee, like, the lights came down. It was like a spotlight on him, and I'm like, "The hell's going on here?" And it was just different to me. So, yeah, I mean, hockey's fun. I do enjoy it. Yeah, man, go follow Greg. Greg's a good follow on Twitter. He's a good guy, always doing some great stuff, surprising stuff. So, I'd mentioned baseball. All right, like, are we going to get a deal done today? 5 o'clock is the new deadline. Are we going to get a deal done today? Because I'm telling you right now, personally, I'm going to be pissed off all to hell if it doesn't happen. Greg, I agree. This whole thing has been manufactured. I don't know if anybody here listens to um, um, Locked On MLB with Paul Sullivan. You might not like him, and that's fine. Like, I like him just because he covers the entire league. It's not just team specific, but like, I've been listening to him for the last few days, pretty good. And like, this stuff's manufactured right now. Like, just come together. The owners aren't losing money, okay? If the owners were losing money, Rob Manfred would be out of a job, right? Rob Manfred would be out of job if the owners were losing money. There also would not be contingencies in these other markets, Charlotte, Nashville, Portland, Montreal, whatever, that are trying to bring teams together to their cities. Okay. So knock that off the table. All right. The other thing too is it's not billionaires versus millionaires. Ben Verlander on Twitter, and I think if you are in the hobby and you're into baseball, you know who Ben Verlander is. He tweeted out, I don't know if it was last night or this morning, like the breakdown of who actually makes over $1 million in baseball. And I think we all are aware of this. There's not many. There really is not many that make over $1 million. And that's who's hurting, are those guys that are making less. I mean, the last 2 years, yes, ticket sales have been down, but guess what? We've been in a freaking pandemic where you couldn't go to these things. Okay. But I've said it for 25 years, ever since the 94 lockout and the 95, or excuse me, the 94 strike and the 95 lockout. Baseball has done a horrible job marketing their players. They don't market their players well enough. And I'm not saying that's going to save the game, but man, I tell you what, like all of us here, you know, I'm on the back end of baseball's prime demographic right now. Like I'm 40, okay? And I don't know many people under my age that want to watch a baseball game on television. Okay? I do. I have the MLB subscription, and I know many of you here, Kevin, you're one of them, canceled yours this year. I didn't cancel mine just because I didn't want to go through the cancellation process and then have to go back and repurchase it, whatever. All right. But I will sit there and I will watch 162 games a year on television of the Guardians, and I will go to as many baseball games as I can. This year, though, man, I'm even more upset because my wife and I are supposed to go to spring training at the end of March. And I'm concerned that that's not going to happen. I also purchased opening day tickets for the Guardians. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. This is the second time in 3 years that I won't be able to attend opening day now because I bought them in 2020 and COVID hit. So I really hope that they come to a deal today, because I think if they can come to a deal today, then the whole season, or a good majority of the season, can be saved. Okay. You know, we here, I mean, thankfully we have a minor league team, the Washington Wild Things. They're not affiliated with Major League Baseball. They are, I don't know. I can't remember they just did something with Major League Baseball, but they're not an affiliate of any team. So at least I'll have some baseball to go to. My son is also playing baseball this year for the first time, and I get to be his coach. So I'll get to have that too, which is kind of cool. But I want the game back on the field. I want these players promoted. I want them paid. Look, $400 million is a ton of money. Do they deserve it? I don't know. Does anybody deserve $400 million? Probably not. It's not an independent league, Greg. I can't remember what they are. But I don't know. It's just, they just get the game back going, because you're going to lose so many fans if you don't. The other thing too about baseball they need to realize, and this has nothing to do with the negotiations, is good parenting, Tony. Yes. Like, that's my son. Like, right. Like, I am constantly telling my son about baseball. He's watching videos. I just want him to enjoy the game. I care less if he plays. I just want him to enjoy it. But anyway, the other thing that baseball is getting backwards is with the MLB subscription. Okay. Jay, you're a Twins fan, so I think you get to watch all the Twins games in Iowa. But if you were a Cubs fan, you wouldn't be able to watch the Cubs in Iowa, which is stupid. Don't black out the games. Do not black out any game. If you're paying for it, then you should get to watch the game. All right. I understand that if you live in New York and you're a Yankees or a Mets fan, you have the Yes Network and SNY, I think is what the other one is. So you can watch the games on your local cable service. But guess what? How many of us still have cable? Not many. Not many people that I know still have cable. We're switching to these streaming services. And I'm telling you right now, if the younger generation, you want to get them into baseball, let them watch. Okay. But Greg, I'm going to get on that in a minute. But they need to be able to allow these kids, watch baseball. Okay. If you want them in the game, you got to let them watch, and they're going to watch through an app because they're either on their phone, on the computer, iPad, whatever it may be. Okay. But you can't have them downloading more stuff. Download the MLB app, press it, watch the game. I saw an article yesterday and I shared it on Twitter that Major League Baseball is in contact with NBC and the Peacock streaming network about airing games there. I won't watch them. One, I got to download something else. And two, I got to pay for it. I'm not paying for another subscription. I got enough. I don't need another one. So it's the dumbest thing that baseball could do. Che, good morning. Congratulations on $3,500, my man. Excellent job. So, Greg, getting back to your point, controversial opinion, best thing that could happen to MLB is another steroids era. Tony, we have a landline too. It's not for the reason you think. We have a landline so our kid can dial 911. That's it. Another steroids era. You're not wrong. Okay. You're not wrong because that will bring more offense to the game. However, the players are not going to want to be a part of it because the players are smart enough to see what's happened to the players from that original era, how they've been vilified and not allowed in the Hall of Fame and everything like that. These guys don't want to do it. Yes, it's 2022. Mike Trout's been in the league for 11 years, and he's a Hall of Famer already. Okay. But if there's another steroid era and he stays healthy and his numbers stay consistent or go up, do you think there's going to be a little bit of doubt from people? Probably. Unfortunately, but probably. You know, same with some of these other younger guys, Juan Soto. There's just so many. Like, what if Francisco Lindor's numbers go up? Okay, like he had a down year in the Mets. He had a great run with the Indians, and then had a down year with the Mets. But what if it goes up? Do you think there's going to be questions there? There absolutely is. So you're not wrong in saying that could be the best thing that happens to baseball. But the players, I don't think, will want to participate in something like that. Cheating doesn't belong in sports, period. You're exactly right. But here's what they can do. They can manufacture offense. Okay. Like I've been accused of being the old man on the block, and I'm okay with that. I'm a baseball traditionalist. I love the designated hitter, but I also love pitchers at the plate. Even though there's some of the dumbest people at the plate. I was a pitcher and I couldn't hit. I readily admit that. If I couldn't pitch, I never would have played baseball as long as I did. All right. But, you know, it's silly to see some of them up there. You know, it's an automatic out. You know, a lot of times it's an automatic strikeout. So can we do a universal DH? Of course. Let's just do it. Like, I mean, go ahead. All right. What I don't like is making the shift illegal. All right. I've always said that baseball is about strategy. Okay. Baseball is absolutely 100% about strategy. And they've been playing this way for years. I mean, decades. The outfielders. I mean, when I was in Little League, I remember my coaches. If I'm not pitching, I'm playing center field. Eric back up, Eric to the right, Eric to the left, right? I mean, you play to the batter's strengths. If they're a right-handed hitter, you have a good opportunity. They're going to pull the ball to left field. So the batter, you have to know, hey, they're playing me to left field. Let me hit it down the right field line. All right. But the pitcher's also playing those types of games too. He's going to put it, where the batter can't hit it down the right field line. So you got to play that game. And that's what it is. Now, I saw a pitcher. I can't remember who was at the plate, but I mean, it had 8 players to the right side with like 5 of them out in the outfield. That's a bit overkill. All right. But again, as the batter, you see that. Bunt it down the third base line. Get on base. Let the guy come up behind you, knock you in. All right. It then goes into the whole ego thing. You're not going to maybe have a home run or an RBI at that at bat. Okay. But your on base percentage is going to go up. Your batting average is going to go up. Okay. Play to the strengths, play to what you're getting. And where it starts is in the lower levels of baseball, like Little League, high school ball. They need to be teaching the kids these things. Don't just teach them to pull the ball or swing for the fences every time. So, Greg, what are you saying here, man? They need to do something to create the boom, and that can be done by loads of home runs and scoring. Key being scoring. Can't have this high K rate as well. Personally, I think the number one problem is pitching. Way too many pitchers being used in the game. Greg, I will agree with you on that. Excuse me. I think that is one good change they've made recently is that a pitcher has to come in and face 3 batters. Okay. The constant in and out. I mean, that was a bit ridiculous. And again, I will sit there and I'll watch a 5-hour 9-inning game. I have no problem with that. But when you're coming in and you make 1 or 2 pitches and then they're bringing another pitcher in to face somebody else, that does get a little bit of like, all right, come on, let's just do something here. So I do agree with that. But here's the other thing I think, and there's no way that you can mandate this, but pitchers, starting pitchers, and managers. Tony, that's why I got it. It's here. Let me just show you before I finish that thought. It's called the Black Dog, and it's in Cape Cod that we went to this fall. It's a store, and we have a black lab, and he wears a red collar like that, so I had to get it. But starting pitchers and managers need to come together and say, look, if I'm healthy, I'm going 7, 8, 9 innings. No more of this 4 2/3, 5 innings crap. Like, you're getting paid. Okay. I saw the stat that Max Scherzer is going to lose $232,000 a game. Garrett Cole's going to lose $191,000 a game. Like, that's a ton of money, but you're getting paid that money to pitch. You're not getting paid that money to pitch half a game. You're getting paid that money to be the starting pitcher, to take your team deep into the game. And if you can finish that game, that's what you should be doing. I put in an 8-hour plus workday. I think we all here put an 8-hour plus workday in. We're getting paid. Yeah, we don't get paid anymore if we put more hours in. We're also not getting paid any less unless we're hourly, but pitch. And look, I understand it has ramifications on your long-term career. Does it really? Bob Gibson, Bob Feller, Nolan Ryan, Steve Carlton, name any pitcher from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even a little bit. They're going to tell you it's not. Okay? You can develop yourself as a strong pitcher and be able to go that long. The fitness regimens and the techniques that we have today prove that. Look at Tom Brady. Man's 44 years old and continue to play and play to a high degree. And it's all because he ate green stuff and didn't do anything out of the ordinary during the season. Okay. Pitchers need to take a look at that too. But again, the batters and the hitters, they need to be able to focus on what the field's giving them, what the defense is giving them. But 5 o'clock today, folks, like I'm gonna be monitoring my phone all day because I don't know. I want baseball back. I hope that it does, and I'm afraid if it doesn't happen today, it's gonna be a while. So you're right. I mean, Greg, you're right. I mean, it probably, yeah, but I mean, the Indians have Emmanuel Class A who he throws, high 90s, low hundreds. He's throwing hard, but he's a back end reliever. So is he going to have a long career? Possibly. Do you need to be throwing that hard every single pitch? Probably not. But it was great when Kershaw and Verlander, they got stronger as the game went on. They were getting stronger, in the seventh, eighth, ninth inning, getting in those high 90s, each time. But yeah, have we seen their decline over the last few years? Absolutely, we have. But I think you got to be okay with that. Nobody's ever gone into any sport and said, I'm playing forever. There always comes a time, where you can do that. And if you're one of those top tier guys, you're getting paid early in your career, and you save that money and you live a happy life afterwards. Get into managing, get into broadcasting, go open up a car dealership. I don't care what you do, but man, just do it. Like, make yourself who we all think that you can be. Leaf pitchers talking more like your syndicates. Yeah. But no, 5 o'clock, man. I hope 5 o'clock comes and they say play ball because I want to see the game on the field this summer. Take my kid to some games, even though we'll go to Pirate games and Guardian games. I mean, that's what we got around here. Maybe I can go to a Reds game, Che. So I don't know. What else do we got going on? Anything? I appreciate you all coming in here and stopping in. I think, I got some exciting hobby news for myself. I think my Series 1 hobby box comes today, which super excited about. It's the only set I put together. I think I've told you all that before, so I can't wait to dive into that. I did a few weeks ago, I think the release week, found some hangers and blasters, opened those up and had some fun with it. They're good cards. I'm a Topps guy. Again, I'm the old guy on the block, so I like Topps. They're not flashy. They never have been. Definitely have upped their game over the last few years, I suppose, with, the autos and inserts and whatnot. But it's just crazy. It's crazy to see Wander Mania when it first started. I mean, in the hobby or in the blasters and hangers, I pulled one base rookie of his, and I'm not selling it because I need it for the set. Now I pull more, I will, from the hobby box. I got another insert of his, which I actually just gave away as a RAK the other day. It was actually a RAK through a Twitter buyer who he bought it and said give it away. So that was kind of cool. But it's nuts to me to see these cards. Like, I don't know. It's so crazy to see the pricing of cards. I never thought that, a single card would ever fetch, hundreds and thousands of dollars. But they're cool. I mean, and it's the fun of this, I suppose, right? So yeah, Kevin, I'll definitely post what I need. Is there anyone who will have as big of a craze like Wander before Dominguez? I got back into the hobby right when the Dominguez craze was going on, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know anything about the kid. I never heard the name Jason Dominguez before. Every card that was being pulled, and again, I was just learning, and like there are purples and blues and oranges and autographs, but it's the same picture, and I'm like, what? Why is this card going for thousands of dollars? Who is this kid? And now, like, I understand, and he's batting like 232 or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, I was excited because last year, excuse me, in somebody's repack, I got a Jason Dominguez rookie, and I'm like, oh man, this is so great. Like, I'm gonna sell this for $100 and be able to buy an autographed ball or something for me. And then I look it up comps and it's like $15, and I'm like, that's okay, because the craze happens, and I don't know, but like at the same time, like Zion, like what the hell's going on with him? His cards went from way up here to, I mean, you can't see my floor, but that's where they're at. It's horrible. And do I feel bad for the people that bought at those high prices? I do. But as a seller, you take advantage of that, right? And I think that's the name of this game. You have to know when to buy. Kevin just said, I'm buying the dip. Do it, man. Do it. Never taken a professional be at any level, right? Way too much. I mean, Che, the kid was 16 years old. 16 years old. And people are buying his card. Like, it was nuts. Absolutely insane. I didn't get it. And they're still going crazy over him. Like, what is it about this kid? It reminds me in the 90s, like 1990 or 91, as an Indians fan, Mark Lewis. Nobody here probably knows who Mark Lewis is. All right. But man, he was up there with like Ben McDonald and Robin Ventura and all these other like 90s stars that, just were supposed to be the next wave of great baseball players. And I was so excited about Mark Lewis because, I mean, great infielder for the Indians, supposed to be. He came to the Boys and Girls Club where I played baseball to sign autographs. It was my first letdown in the hobby because this man charged $1 for his autograph. Nobody outside of Northeast Ohio knew who this guy was, and he's selling his autograph on a baseball for $1. Now, would I go get a big name prospect's autograph today for $1? Probably. Okay. But as a 9-year-old kid, it wasn't cool. This man flamed out in 2 years. Worst thing ever. And I hope that doesn't happen with this Jason Dominguez kid. I hope that he can live up to the expectations. Bryce Harper has. Steven Strasburg did. I don't know if he still is, but he definitely was up there too. I mean, you get these young guys, and I think that's one thing that teams are realizing. Like, hey, let's get these guys up here early. Let's not keep them in our farm system for 2 or 3 years. Let's get them up here and get them in the major leagues. That's the only way they're going to learn. Some do it, some don't. Don't sell Zion. I don't know. I don't collect basketball. Like, and I think all of you here know me. Like, when I get cards, if they don't fit my PC, I either sell them or give them away. I don't need hundreds of cards just laying around collecting dust. So anyway, I'm getting a message for work. I don't know what this is. I gotta give me a second, folks. I got a Teams message. Okay, I can answer it later. Work-related stuff, right? Like, who cares? I do have a 10 o'clock call. I gotta go at that time. So, everyone have a fantastic day. Yes, Tony Shrek, you have a fantastic day too, man. Go bust some heads at school. Don't really, because I don't need to hear about you getting in trouble. Tony, do you need more cards? Just DM me if you need more cards. I got you, man. Oh, that's the other thing too. The other rack. So I connected with a guy in Rhode Island named Tim Sullivan, I believe. All right, Greg, have a good one, man. Um, Card shop owner and gives cards away for good grades and all that stuff. Really cool guy. Check him out if you can. Um, so anyway, but I think I am going to go ahead and end here. Like I said, I have a 10 o'clock phone call, so just want to kind of get myself prepared a little bit for that. But hey, it's been real, folks. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for supporting Che and the American Heart Association in February. Again, excellent job. So excited for the work that was done, and can't wait to see what they're able to do with all that. And let's get Kevin's fundraiser off, strong too, with St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I'm going to screw that name up so many times. But go to his Twitter page at CardsKev. He has a pinned tweet, I believe, with the link in there. Go drop $10 on it today. Like, just let's get it started. There will be card sales. Got some ideas flowing, so definitely have a good one. Look out for Rack of the Day. It's going to be a little later today, but keep your eye out on it. It is going to be a good one. So maybe turn your notifications on today, and get those people in. So, all right. Cards Kevin. Gee, see, I don't know, man. I'm done. I'm out of here. Have a good day, folks, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.